put that thing down on the floor, would you? There's a dear. Thank you.
Are you able to tell us what happened? Now, Lucille, this is a recorded interview for the benefit of it being the initial conversation on the events of earlier tonight at 165 Marlborough Crescent, Glasgow, involving the death of Benjamin Eli Dayan. Present here are the accused, Lucille Bennett, with her solicitor, Marianne Findlay of Findlay and Archer. Myself, DCI Jane Hetherington, my colleague DS Heidi Torsch, and WPC Wilson. Now, Lucille.
Lucy. My name is Lucy. Don't call me that. Call me Lucy.
Lucy.
Okay?
Do you feel sufficiently comfortable at this time to discuss matters pertaining to the death of the aforementioned Benjamin Eli Dayan?
Yes. I think so.
In your own words, and in your own time, I need you to tell us what occurred tonight. But prior to that, I want you to tell us, with as much detail as possible, what were the circumstances which led to the events resulting in the fatal injury to Benjamin Eli Dayan?
It started with love. Isn't that what makes the bloody world go round? We love it. We love all that shit.
Go on.
When I was younger, we had this very big house, see? Very posh, very secure. Alarms on all the doors, video cameras on all the gates. When I went into my bedroom, I felt safe. I had all my dolls and teddy bears, and they used to keep the ghosts away. I could hear the breeze rustling through the willow, and I could hear the branches tapping at my window. But one night, I couldn't hear the door opening, and I saw a dark figure standing at the bottom of my bed. And I thought it must be shadows. But it wasn't a shadow. I thought it could be a dream or a trick of the light. Then I saw a face, and I knew that face. I knew it well. I tried to scream. I couldn't. And then a hand went over my mouth. I couldn't understand it. The voice was gentle, but his fingers, like evil claws were pushing into me. And I couldn't breathe. And then I felt this horrible hard thing in my hand. And I pulled my hand away and it was still there against my inner thigh. And he pushed so hard. It was a pain I'd never felt before. And then he was inside me with it, groaning and groaning. I could see the shadow of my rape on the wall. And my strength had gone. I lay there.
That's so awful.
So, what do you think? Should I have made it more dramatic? Acted it out more?
Please don't.
It was horrible. It was unbelievably horrible. And then, weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. And I could have let that thing inside me live, but what if it had his eyes, his face? They'd haunt me. I'd see him every second of every day.
How did this person get in?
He was already in. He was the one who locked the doors. He was the one who kissed me goodnight. He was my idol, my absolute idol. I loved him. I adored him.
A boyfriend?
No! He was my father! My ever-loving, literally fucking father!
Excuse me, but what has this to do with...
Oh,
please, let her continue. I'm sorry, Lucy. Please, do continue.
Good story? I like a story with a kinky twist at the end, don't you?
Did you inform the police?
No way. It would have killed my mother. As for abortion, was that the answer?
Did you consider it?
Not easy. I'd been got at by nuns. And they drummed it into me, day after day, year after year. Sanctity of life, the threat of hellfire, eternal damnation. And they frightened the shit out of me. I always hate them for it. And there was one other thing. My father, my hero, worked at the hospital. A gynecologist. That's why I couldn't go there.
I take it he knew you were pregnant.
How old were you at the time?
But questions. He didn't. I left, and I'll never see him again. I was 13.
Lucy, would you like to take a break? There's some water, tea perhaps?
I don't want any tea.
Some water then?
Look! Just fuck off with your patronizing kindness shit, would you? I couldn't face him. Plus, I have 2 younger brothers. They were just kids. If I'd told anyone, their lives would have fallen apart. And the family falling apart. socially inconvenient, so he got away with it.
What about now? Is he still alive?
If it's really relevant, so don't tell us if you don't wish to.
I heard he died of a massive coronary last year.
Did you go to the funeral?
No, I didn't. Oh, and the baby? Miscarriage. For the best, really. Born of incest and rape. Not much of a start in life, is it?
I'm so very sorry. So, how did Benjamin Diane enter your life?
Ever heard that old song by the Kinks? Lola. It mirrors how we found each other for the first time. I met him in a club down in Old Soho, where you drink champagne and it tastes just like cherry cola. C-O-L-A cola. But I know what I am, and I'm glad I'm a man. So is Lola. Lola. See? He sort of charmed me from the start. He was born in London of Jewish parents, but he wasn't in any way even remotely Orthodox or anything like that. In fact, he wasn't religious at all. When I first met him, I thought he was so handsome, charming, and down to earth. Little did I know. And he told me, "It's me and you against the world, Lola." It's crazy how time runs away with itself. And before you know it, you end up somewhere, and you don't really know how you got there. But to cut to the chase, some weeks later, when I'd sorted out things with the flat I was in, we moved in together. Initially it was slightly strange for me, but I just wanted us to be together. Everything moved so fast. And suddenly, we were living in the same place. Thinking back, it felt so right at the time. He charmed me from the start. I was completely head over heels in love. Well, I was. With him, well...
But now this tonight.
I don't really know how he felt towards me. He used to be so funny and romantic back then in the beginning. Always the life and soul of the party. Everybody loved him. But he had this terrible jealous streak. I didn't really notice it in the beginning. But as time went on, it appeared. And it only got worse. When he was good, which was rare, there was nobody better. It just shows you that you can never truly know someone. Everyone is something they don't want anyone else to know. Don't you agree? It wasn't long before all the shouting and swearing started. At first, I was so confused. I couldn't understand what was coming out of his mouth. I couldn't understand why he was talking to me like that. But he always apologized and vowed he'd never do it again. I got a job at an art centre in town, and I made a circle of really nice new friends. But the problem was, my work, well, it meant a lot of socializing. And he didn't like me being late or on nights out with my friends. And he would constantly phone and text me and demand to know who I was with, or where we were going, when I'd be home, stuff like that.
He became violent. Please tell us what happened then.
Yeah. Then the violence started. And I'll never forget the day when he first put his hands on me. It was my colleague at work, Ali. It was her birthday. We were all going out to celebrate. Everyone else was bringing their partners, and I'd asked him if he wanted to come, but he wanted to stay home and watch football or something on TV. He probably knew he would get drunk and look bad compared to the nice, decent partners my friends had. And that night, I was in the bathroom. I just had a shower and I was putting on my makeup, and I could hear him swearing and shouting at the TV set. And as usual, he was drinking. And I put some music on so I wouldn't have to hear him, but not too loud so he wouldn't have a reason to start on me. And suddenly, the bathroom door flew open, and he stood behind me glaring at me in the mirror. And then he pulled me back by the hair, close to him. And I remember how red with rage his face was, and the stinking stench of booze on his breath. And I pleaded with him to stop. And he just laughed and sneered at me. He said if I was going to put on makeup, I should put it on right. I didn't understand what he was saying. But I knew something bad was about to happen. And he snatched the lipstick out of my hand and he smeared it all over my face. And then he sneered at me with that vile, venomous voice of his. Oh, it's much better, don't you think? I didn't answer. I just couldn't. I was frozen with fear. And then he smashed my face into the mirror. And after that, it's all still a bit of a blur. But I remember he sat me down on the edge of the bathtub and started cutting big chunks out of my hair. And my heart was totally breaking. I could hardly see through my tears. And I looked down onto the floor and I saw big clumps of my hair gathering at my feet.
My God. I'm sorry. Don't stop. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Please go on.
He made me text Angela. He said I had to make an excuse because I was crying so much. And she would have known something was wrong. I was always having to cancel seeing my friends because of him. They probably thought I was getting fed up with them. And gradually, all the texts and emails stopped. Nobody called me anymore. I had to pack in my job. I was always so badly cut and bruised. And it was really bad to go out like that, you know? I just wanted to cry out to somebody. Anybody. I couldn't. I just couldn't. He always threatened me. Said if I ever tried to leave him, he'd find me. And I believed him.
There was no one at work you could confide in?
Well, when all that started, I did tell Janie, my supervisor at work. She didn't believe me. He met her twice before, and he was always so charming and well-behaved that he fooled her. And that's what he was like, see? Such a slimy, devious bastard. Oh, he made sure that he was the best partner whenever we were around other people. Everyone thought the world of him. What a joke! What a fucking joke! It's so hellish when you're suffering like that. And nobody knows the true story. I left him 3 times. I did. I didn't go very far though. Because he always said he would change. But he never did. Wait till you hear this. He drove me to work once. And then halfway there, he stopped the car and pushed me out onto the pavement and yelled, "Fucking walk! Open your legs like the fucking slut that you are, you cunt!" He said that to me. And then he drove off, leaving me standing there humiliated in bits. I jumped out of the car once at the red light, so I wouldn't have to stay there with him any longer. was always shouting and swearing. And I put my fingers in my ears so I wouldn't have to listen to him. And he'd pull the fingers out of my ears and make me listen to his ranting and cursing before he'd punch me in the stomach. He ran a vacuum cleaner over my breasts once while I was asleep. He said it was to make sure no other man would want me with my fucked up tits. Situation like that, it's a lot easier said than done.
Lucy, sit down. Come and sit down.
But one night, I had to make sure I was going to leave this nightmare permanently. He battered the shit out of me one night. Said his food was disgusting and that I should feel guilty for serving up food that bad. He'd pissed all over the mashed potato he'd thrown on the floor. And then he started picking up forkfuls from it and shoving it into my mouth till I was choking. Oh, he'd smash glasses, plates and cups off the walls. And he'd pull the tablecloth from under the table and send everything flying through the room. And then demand that I clean it up. I tried really hard to stand my ground. I refused to. But he'd get the iron and he'd hold my hand on the table. And then he'd put the iron on my hand and then he'd punch and kick me repeatedly until I gave in. And I just wanted the pain to stop. I couldn't sleep that night. My mouth was dry and my whole body was in a cold sweat. What if he'd find out and my plan would fall he woke up, I was going to tell him that I was going to the bathroom. But he didn't. It was pitch black, and I could hear him breathing loudly, so I knew he was asleep. And then I ran out of the bedroom and never looked back. And I ran out the front door. And to shut it needed to be slammed, but he would have heard that. So I dashed out and I grabbed my bag from the rubbish bin, and I dashed across the lane and into the next lane, and then I took off my clothes and I stuffed my pajamas into a bag, and then I waved down the taxi and took it to my friend Angela's house. It must have been about 4 in the morning. The streets were really eerie and quiet. And I was pounding on the door, and I was shouting through the letterbox. And I said, "Angela, it's me, Lucy. Please open the door." And finally she opened the door. And she took one look at my bruised and tired face, and she burst into tears. I told her everything that had happened while she dealt with my cuts and bruises. But I told her I couldn't stay long, because hers would be the first place you'd look for me. I told her I'd phone her in a few days when I'd sorted out things with my new Seme and my new phone. I held Angela for such a long time that night. And she whispered into my ear, "Lucy, forgive me." And then she squeezed me really close and tight. "Because I'll never forgive myself," she said. "I'll never forget that." And for a moment, I had a strange sensation. I almost felt safe. I didn't want to let her go. She was my friend, and I didn't know when I'd see her again. Back at the flat, I had to leave things behind, and personal things, irreplaceable things. Photos and souvenirs and memories of happier days when I was just a little girl. Before my father, and then oh no, I'll never understand why I feel so guilty. What have I done to deserve all this? Tell me, somebody please tell me. I just feel like I'm out of sync with the real world. You see, he always said that I was the one I was the one who made him that way. And I was always waiting for him to barge in and grab me by the hair and drag me back to that horrible place. And tonight, it happened. He found me. He found me. Ah! 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 Ah!
I know this is painful. We need to know.
I just made myself something to eat before going to bed. And I sat down to read a magazine. When the doorbell went. Hello? Who is it?
I'm from flat 17. I've a package I took in for you. Are you Miss Lucille Bennett?
Okay. Hang on.
You fucking cunt, you fucking thing, get away from me! You've been hiding from me, I'm gonna fucking find you, you fucking slag! You cunt, you fucking over there! Get fucking back here this minute, give it! You never got away from me, you never got away from me, I fucking told you! Get fucking near me, don't you look at me like that, you cow! Right. Don't you fucking touch me! Fucking touch me! You fucking cow! You fucking cunt! Yeah.
See? He barged in and then he pushed me inside and he shoved me against the wall and he punched me in the face and he was yelling and he was spitting and his vile boxing and fat breath. I was pushing him away. And I was pushing him away. And I was looking for something. Anything. And I reached behind me. And I felt the hammer. And he stepped back and clawed at me. And then I swung it into his jaw. And there was blood and water gushing out. And he looked startled. It was sort of fast but slow motion, you know. And I swung it again. I swung it again and again. One last time and it's busted in. I didn't want to go back with him. Not again. Not ever again.
Lucy, he was pronounced dead when we found him. And you see you committed a crime.
A very serious crime. You took the life of another human being.
We need you to understand that.
What? What? What are you saying? What? He was a mercenary, for fuck's sake! He was a specialist in Krav Maga! You bastards! You're all so fucking inept! Oh, you've got no idea what that means, have you?
Ma'am, can I say something? Krav Maga. It's a powerful contact combat system known for its extreme brutality. It was developed by the Israeli military. It involves judo, karate, boxing, and jiu-jitsu for life and death scenarios. Krav Maga.
Indeed. So who the fuck do you think you are to judge me? You know, what about what that bastard did to me? He raped me. He put things inside me. Clothes, stones, lit cigarettes. He put terrible things inside me. I don't even know what that means.